Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my channel, NBC Stitcher. I'm Matt, and this is Augie, and this is Flosstube episode number 42. I'm 98% sure. And today is Sunday, April 3rd, 2022, and it's been 3+ weeks since last time I was able to do a video. And so I've got quite a bit of things to show everybody. I have a couple finishes. I have a good amount of haul, a little bit of stitchy kindness, and progress on a few other projects. I do have, and then plans, actually quite a bit of plans. It's going to be kind of in a couple different spots. And then at the end, I will talk about I finished 3 books since the last time, so I'll talk about those books, and then some TV shows and stuff that I've been watching as well. So why don't we go ahead and get on into it. I'm going to start with finishes. So this is not in the order that they were finished, but the opposite order. First up, we have Cleocatra. This is from Bendy Stitchy Designs, Michelle Garrett. Yes, no, you're saying, okay. For right now. This is Cleocatra. She was released for the expo last fall. Yes. So at the end of, fall 2021. I used the called for sulky threads, and then I changed out the yellow outside of the flower for DMC Diamant Gold. But I left the yellow in the flower because I was like, that's kind of fitting. And then this is on 14 count Aida. My friend Jessica, Rainy Day Stitcher, she printed this on her inkjet printer. She also is doing it the same thing, and she did it, and I was like, oh, can you make me some? And she did, and she mailed it to me, and then I have been working on it. So yeah, I really liked it. This was the first time working on like printed fabric like this, so it was easy to work with. It is 14 count Aida, so it's very easy to see. This was also my travel project. Last weekend, my boyfriend and I went up to Kansas City, Missouri for like a weekend getaway, and this was what I mostly worked on while we were gone. I think I finished it while we were, I finished it on the trip back, and then I started working on the other project that I took with me. But yeah, this, I did have to make a few adjustments. One of the things about this border is that it's very easy to just make it a little bit bigger, which I had to do because some things got moved around, but I really loved this piece. I really enjoyed working on it, and it was really nice. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to finish it. Probably not on a canvas just because of the fabric size. It might be kind of small, and it may be hard to get it, and then you're going to have, so I'm going to do something, but this is in the I don't know what to do right now segment. Okay, and then I also have another finish, which is my forest owl. This is from Stitchy Little Fox on Etsy. This is, it's kind of makes it difficult to see, but it's basically the silhouette of an owl, and then it's a forest scene in like blue-purple kind of colorway. She has several of these different animals, different colorways. I have several of them. Becca Sambry Stitches, and I started a hashtag OwlBeStitchingSAL a couple years ago. She started one of the Plum Street Samplers pieces that has an owl in it, and I started this one. She also has this pattern, but I don't think she started it yet. She has I think she's done the version of this that's Bigfoot. Like it's a Bigfoot silhouette, but the same kind of, you know, effect. So I really enjoyed working on this and really had a great time stitching it. So this is a piece of, I believe it's 16 count Aida. It's from Bestitch Me, and it is one of the oldest pieces of Bestitch Me that I have. I know because I used the other half of this piece for a Christmas gift that I gave to somebody in December 2019. So it's a pretty old piece of Aida, but I really loved it. It's this beautiful green modeling, looks very forest-like, and I think it sets off the blue, especially in person. It's kind of hard on the photograph. It kind of looks like it's more blending, but in person, you see the edges just fine, and I really like it. So I am gonna do this as a canvas frame or a canvas finish, probably like this one, pretty similar to that. So this is gonna be done pretty soon, and yeah, so that's that one. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So that's all my finishes. I do want to also say thank you for everybody that has anybody that's new here. Thank you for giving me a try. Thank you for those that have come back and watched my videos again, or my new video, and for subscribing and liking and those things. I appreciate it, and for leaving comments, also great, or interacting with me on Instagram, same thing. Thank you so much. I do want to give a couple shout outs to some of my friends that are in the under 1,000 subs club, which is when you have your Flosstube channel has less than 1,000 subscribers. There's certain things that kick in at 1,000 that content creators can do, and so I just wanted to be able to. If you haven't already checked these people out, please go do so. The first is Zan, Crazy Band Lady Stitches, and her. Zan is spelled with an X, and she is amazing. I met her at Steel City Stitchers, but she's great. Her floss tubes are very fun, very enjoyable, and they're quite good. So go give her a follow. She's in Memphis. She's friends with Memphis Sarah E, and so she will. Yeah, they're great. She went to market with Sarah. They both went with the Leanne of Forbidden Fiber Company, who was the person that was the shop there selling at market, and so Zan and Sarah went to help her do that. But yeah, she's great. Go give her a follow. I love how she starts her videos with "Hey Flossies," or "Hello Flossies" instead of like "Hello Flosstube." It's very unique, but I love it. She's great. The other channel that I'm going to point to is X's and Hoes, and they are a sister team of Justine and Jackie, and they are amazing. I also met them at the Steel City Stitchers Retreat, and they're great. They have Jackie lives in Chicago, Justine lives in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and they are sisters that floss tube together, sometimes in person at somebody's place, and sometimes virtually, but they're really great. I love them, super funny. Jackie is newer to stitching than Justine, and Jackie is also but they're both great. So I think you stitch a wide variety of things. Justine loves turkeys, so there's a lot of that happening in there. If you want to see a turkey pattern, you'll probably see one anytime they do a video. But they're really great. They're hilarious, and you should give them a follow as well. And so, yeah. Okay, next up, I want to talk about my full coverage pieces. So I had set myself a goal this year of every month doing 3,000 stitches on my full coverages. And it carries over, like if I go over, like if I did 5,000 stitches, then I would be 2,000 stitches into the next month already. So I did it for the whole year, but I broke it up into months so I can keep track of like how I'm doing. Anyway, I have 3 full coverage projects that I am working on. Well, I guess I have more than 3, but the 3 that I'm talking about when I say full coverage are the ones, the big, 2 of them are from Heaven and Earth Design and 1 is from Unconventional X Stitch. So the big ones that like, they're like really big full coverages and not just, it's a piece that is all full coverage. So, okay, so I work generally in a diagonal on my big full coverages. It's just what has worked for me, and so I'm going to continue to do that. And I have, I did get a page finish in one of them as well. So that was another finish. So I had 3 finishes in the month of March. So who's up first? Okay, this is the one I'm currently working on, but I just haven't done a whole lot yet. I worked on a little bit this weekend, but I just didn't get all that much movement on it. But this is Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart. This is, oh, nope. This is in Pattern Keeper. You can have it do a PDF or a mock-up of it, and so this is the full pattern. I am down here in this section, down here in this bottom corner. And I've just done, since the last time I showed this, I've just done about 170 stitches. So it's not a huge amount, but I did get some, oh, that's not that one. There it is. I did get some progress, and you can see this, there's a little mermaid coming out of the water, and you can really see part of their body a lot more. So this is where I'm at. I just did mostly down here. But yeah. This is on a 28 count, okay, Aki. Easy guide, Lugana. So it has these grids in it that when you wash it, that will come out. And I use 2 strands of floss over 1 strand on the fabric, or 1 thread of the fabric, and I do it tent stitch instead of a cross. It's a lot quicker, and for these, I think you get just as good, I'm very happy with the coverage and everything. So 28 count, that's where I'm at. So I just did a little bit down here. You can kind of see this mermaid coming up out of the water down there. And that's pretty much that one. So next up, we have my other Heaven and Earth Design piece, which is, the title is Intimate Encounter. The artist is Sandra Santera, and this is what it looks like. This is the god Hearn and Pan, and they're having an intimate encounter. So I am, and this is the one I got a page finish, and so I broke up, when I say it's a page finish, it's by stitches. So I took the total number of stitches and divided the pages to get like a per page average stitches instead of having like the actual where the page lines are. Since I work in the diagonal, I don't really do that. But I have enough stitches now that I am I'm 3 pages in of the total. So, Augie, why do you keep itching yourself? Come here. I know, but not right here. Okay, so I, for the most part, completed this diagonal. There's still some spots that I need to go back, but I did that and then came down here to get enough so that I'm in the full got to my page finish point. So I will continue to work on this, and I'm gonna have to move the Q-snap the next time because I will not be able to get everything to fit in here. But yeah, this is also 28 count 2/110 stitch. All of them are. I had tried several different fabrics and styles, and this is what worked for me, and I've done all of them now in that. Okay, and then my most recent start is called Grounding, and it is the artist is Carla Morrow, and the charter is Unconventional X Stitch, which is a company out of Australia. And this is what the art will look like. And I am working in a different corner because I started this one in the other spot, the other bottom corner. And I finished my diagonal here. So I got all of this done, and there's a lot more confetti here in this spot. So there's quite a bit of stuff that's parked now. These earlier diagonals, like there were 3 colors in this first one. I mean, that's small, but then this one, there were like 7 colors. This one had a lot more. There were several that I just had one strand or one stitch or 2 or 3. But I really enjoyed working on this, and I am getting this up to here. So the next time I work on this, I will get another diagonal as well. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this piece. So this is kind of those watercolor looking mountains in the background, and then this is the stone that's starting here. Okay. So I did also have a new start, which after having finished the Elemental Dragons that I showed last time, which is hanging up right here, Elemental Dragons Earth, I went ahead and started Elemental Dragons Water. Also by Ink Circles, this is what the pattern looks like. And I'm also doing it on a 40 count Verdal with 1 strand of thread. And, whoops, excuse me. And here's where I am. So I just did 1 length, got that in. I got this center sailboat and then started on this dragon's tail. And yeah. The thread that I'm using is a Threadworks. I didn't write the number down. I have it written down in my book. I just didn't write it on the floss drop. But it's this beautiful royal blue variegated color. So it goes to like a dark blue, and then it's just, you get some color change. I really love it. And yeah, so that's Ink Circles, Elemental Dragons Water. So Ink Circles is the Garon Designer Focus. If you know the Sunshine Stitchers, they're also Flosstubers here on Flosstube, and a part of the group is Gary and his husband Ronnie, and they run Garon Toten Bags, Garon Stitchery, which is an online needlework store, and then they do project bags. Ronnie is the seamster, the sewing person that makes the bags and all the other things with the sewing machine. Gary is a longtime cross stitcher, and they this year they decided to pick some different designers for each month. It originally started with their birthdays, and then their Facebook group, they kind of filled out all the other months. So I meant to check this before I started filming, but I'm like 80% sure Ink Circles is April, because I was like, oh, that's coming up. Anyway, so this month, my goal is to touch all of my Ink Circles projects that I have worked on, or that I have going, aside from one that I'm not sure if I'm going to restart, and I don't really want to add more to it right now. So that one I have left aside, but I have brought the others out to show you what it is that what I'm talking about. Including in that, we'll be getting some more on the elemental dragons. And then this other piece that I have worked on this month, just a little, but a favorite of mine, and something in addition to working on it, I also want to get to the point where I have another page finished. So this is Forest of Sumatra by Ink Circles. And this is a beautiful piece that I have been working on for more than a year. And I'm doing the fabric is 36 count toast from Stitch Me, and then I'm using the called for floss, which is Gloriana, and the colorway is Sumatra. It was designed specifically for this piece. And yeah, so what I got done is this motif up here so far. I will be doing more, but I was riding in the car, and working on linen in the car just didn't give me a lot of, wasn't able to get a whole lot of progress during that time period. So I will be working on this more, and this is definitely one. I'm trying to get the whole page. So this is the top corner, this first page, and I want to get all of this done. But it's gonna be a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited. I love working with this floss. It's so nice to work with. It is silk. It's, but it's wonderful. So, and I'm doing 2 strands over 2. So yeah, this is Forest of Sumatra. Hopefully getting a page finished this month. Okay, I will show the other ink circles that I'm going to work on as well in just a minute. I just have one more piece that I've actually worked on. This is my longest running Mirabilia. This is Deco Spirits. And so there are 4, these are actually full coverage, 4 individual panels. You could do them all together. I'm doing them separately, and there are the 4 elements, and they are full coverage. No beads, but there is metallics. So I'm working on Air, which is this one down here. That's the only one I have started so far. And I got quite a bit of progress on her. So essentially most of this I filled in her arm here, and then a lot of this dress, and then all the way up there. So I really do like working on this piece, and I definitely want to keep working on her. She's not that far from being done. Like, it's not that bad. And there will be backstitch, but yeah, it's just, and this is on a 32 count white Lugana. So yeah. And that's pretty much it. She's beautiful. I love her. I will continue to work on her and some others as well. What else was I gonna say? That's pretty much it. So that's all the stitching that I have stitched. Now let's talk about plans. So my WIPGO goals for last month I completed. They were to do an extra 2,500 stitches in my full coverages, which I did, and then also to do what's my other one? I just lost it. but I completed it. I'll get back to you. So this month, my WIPGO goals are to spend 5 days on my letters project, which is the Pain-Free Crafts 2020 Stitch Along, which was for the fantasy letters of the alphabet. And then to spend 5 days on Christmas seasonal stitching. So, or winter. So this is the letters project. This is where I'm at. I am on the letter N, which is for Nessie. So I will continue to work on this. And I think in the 5 days I should be able to get Nessie done, at least. If not, move on to the next one, or definitely at least work on the border. So this is a 32 count Jobelin. In white, and it's a big half yard. So my friend Kate, Stitchy Aardvark, she does not do Flosstube, but she is on Instagram. She was talking to me that somebody had like mentioned her, oh, I'm gonna start this soon. And she's like, do I tell them? I was like, yes, we have to tell them. We have to tell the people. This is a fun project. There are a lot of fractional stitches in all of these. So some of them have a few, some of them have a lot. Well, none of them have just a few. Some of them have a good amount, and some of them have a huge amount. And so I don't mind. It's not my favorite thing, but I'm working on them. But like this tail, like all of that is little fractionals for the most part. There's a few full crosses, but they're very few and far between. There's just a lot of it. It makes it look great. I mean, look at this person, this imp. There's a lot there. And then with the back stitch, it looks amazing, but it takes a lot of effort. So if you are going to work on this, if you're going to start it, just be aware that there are a lot of fractionals, and if you are good with those, cool. But if not, maybe think about it. Also, I could not do this on Ada. So I'm doing it over on Jobelin. Kate only works on Ada for the most part, so she's piercing along, and I don't understand. I mean, I understand how she's doing it, but she has a lot more patience than I do. So, so that's that plan. My other one is Christmas stitching, which is going to be the next thing that I'm going to work on. So, well, I'm going to show you my options. So first of all, and I think I showed this last time because I got the new bag for it. Yeah, I need to work on this more. I didn't end up working on it much at all in March, but this is definitely happening. So this is Noble Companions Book 2 by Susan Brack. This is from Leisure Arts. I believe it's from 1991. So the year after, well, anyway, I was 5 when this came out, but my grandmother had this, and she does not stitch on anything that has super dark colors anymore. And this is on, like, it's charted for 25 count Lugana, like black or navy. And she's like, yeah, I can't do that, but I could. So I purchased some linen. This is Mystic from Picture This Plus, which is a very nice color that I really enjoy. Which way? This is the way that it goes. And so it's 36 count, and I'm doing it 2/1. This is how far I am. I have quite a bit to go, but I would like to get this done by Christmas. It means I actually have to work on this a lot more. Because I didn't give her something. My idea is to do this one for her, and then this also comes with the polar bear one, and I'm going to do this one for me, and I have the same piece of fabric will fit both, and I'm going to do hers, and then I'll do mine, and then we'll both have them. And so that's the idea. This is in my So Much to Love bag that I have, which is really nice. The reason why I got this color or this fabric version of it is because it's hydrangeas, which reminds me of my grandmother quite a bit. So that's why it's living in that bag, which I really love. Okay, so I also have Autumn Lane Stitchery's Woodland Santa, which is on Picture This Plus 18 count Aida in the colorway Jade, which is a light green. And here's where I am. I think this is the bottom, and so I can, it's nowhere near done, but this is also would be fun to do, and I can travel with this one because it's Aida. It'll be a lot easier. It's a lot easier to see on this color, and I can just get a lot more done on it. So that's the idea. I'll probably work on this one as well. I don't know who made this bag. I won it from Fortnite Fabrics in one of their like YouTube trivia giveaway things that they did like in the first year. And so I won that project bag, which is really nice, but the person that donated them, and I'm assuming made them, did not like say who it was. So another contender for something to work on is Miss Christmas Eve from Mirabilia, Nora Corbett. I started this last year, and so I could get some more work on this. I don't have a whole lot. I just basically started it and don't really have a whole lot done. So that's the extent of it. It's the bottom, the big ribbon from her dress, and then part of the holly leaves at the bottom there. So yeah, I would like to, this is a contender. This is a 32 count Lugana that's opal from Bestitch Me. I don't think it had a name, and I'm pretty sure I got it in a Fright Night, but I thought that would be pretty for this. It's very different than the called for, but I thought it would make it stand out, and it's wintry looking. And then, yeah. I also have from Stitcherovia, this is Winter Deer, which is not Christmas, but it's winter, and so that's the idea. And I've worked on this quite a bit recently, so you may be familiar. I finished this tree, and I've got the mountain done. There's some more trees and stuff down here, probably where I go to work next, but yeah. This is an 18 count Aida from Bestitch Me. It doesn't have a name, but it's a light gray blue. It's very pretty. And yeah. Two more possibilities. I gotta work on each, well, I've got more than enough to work on one a day, but okay, so this is Christmas Eve from Cottage Garden Samplings. This was her 12-part series last year, the Time for All Seasons, number 12. This is the Santa, which I just really loved. There's several other in that series that I liked, but this was the only one I got. This is a piece of 32 count woodland from Picture This Plus, and I think it's looking great on it. Is that the right? Nope, wrong way. So yeah, this is one that I need magnification and extra light to see because it's just so dark, but it's so good. I just love that piece. So this one is also a possibility. This is living in my project bag from Robert's Palace of Stitches. He made this for me in 2020 as a gift, and so I put this in there because he has done that piece and finished it, and I was talking about it, and he decided to get it because of that, and then he stitched it and finished it and everything before. Well, I think I had started before he had finished, but Yeah, he's way further along. Okay, my last one that I pulled is Polar Pack by Plum Street Samplers. This is one of the, the creature groups. Excuse me. And yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm doing this on a piece of 36 count linen from Bestitch Me called Glacier, which was in her winter box last year. I did change out the red and the green. They're two different, actually I changed out a lot of the overdyed. So instead of the chalk or whatever white was called for, I have a white Silks for You that I used. And then instead of the black, I have a black Silks for You that I'm using. And then the red and the green were different classic colorworks that I liked. And then the DMC. This is a polar bear. This polar bear needle minder is from Zan. She gave it to me when we were at Steel City Stitchers. This was a project. This was a chart that she liked and then didn't buy it at first at the shop there. And then it was gone. And so she didn't get it. But when I finish, I'm going to send my chart on to her, which she knows, I'm pretty sure. So, unless she gets it before then. But I'm trying to be like relatively quick about it. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show the ink circles projects that I have started that I'm trying to also work on this month as part of the Garon Designer Focus. First up, we have Blueprint for the Rainbow City, which is a nice pride themed piece. I'm doing this also on 40 count. And I think maybe the same blue. Probably, it looks very similar as the water one. But I just have a tiny little start. That's what I've got on it. So that's the bottom, and then I haven't put any of the rainbow in. So I have the called for Bradley's balloons. I have a couple other rainbow options that I may use instead. Because the Bradley's balloons, which is a Threadworks, I have it in here. This one, it's rainbow, but it's also very kind of neon-y, and I have a couple other rainbow flosses that I might use instead. But yeah, there's that one. And then this is Dog's Declaration. Oh, sorry for the glare. But it says life, liberty, and the pursuit of squirrels. So this is a beautiful piece. I started it a couple of years ago with Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. And I have the called for floss is Valdani cotton. And so I have those, it's not the balls like for, like the, the seasonal Quakers from Rosewood Manor. It's not the same, it's the same dyer, but it's a different product. And so I just have a little bit started. It's also on 40 count for doll, 1 strand, but that's where I'm at. I think she calls for it to be on 36 count with 1 strand, and I just wanted to do it 40 count instead, because I like, usually on 36, I'm more of a, want to use 2, and then I'd have to get more of the floss, and I didn't want to do that. So I just did it on 40 count white. Okay, and then this is my newest ink circles that I have started. I started this when I was at the Steel City Stitchers retreat. This is Blue Velvet, which is a beautiful piece. And I'm doing it with the called for sulky color, but I'm doing it on this beautiful corally fabric from Jody, Bestitch Me, or yeah, Jody of the Steel City Stitchers, and from her Fabric of the Month Club. And then there's this Albus needle minder that I got from Rebel Stitcher there at the retreat. So I've just got a little bit of start on that one too. So I'm at least, I don't know that I'll spend a whole day on each of them, but I want to at least get like a couple links in, because that would be nice. Okay, now that's all the stitching and the plans and stuff. And now, well, it's not all the plans. I have more plans in my haul, but so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that. I ordered some stuff from Brandy at Stitch Me, and she was catching up on her custom orders, including the one that I had placed. So I have not, and I don't know when I'm going to start them, but I have both of the Bella Filipina deity, sky deities pieces. This is Hanan and Mayari, and so that's what we're talking about. They're both charted to go on Brandy's fabric in the Cosmo colorway, which I have a piece of Cosmo, and it's pretty dark, and I wanted to do something that was still spacey but not really dark. So I ordered this Nebula, which is another one of Brandy's colors, and so this is big enough. I got a half yard, so this will definitely fit both of them. But yeah, I'm gonna do it on this instead. So this is 32 count. I will say, I did get this. So she did a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, and I got this then. I ordered it then, but it didn't arrive until a couple weeks ago. But I wasn't trying to start anything, so I wasn't really waiting on it. Oh, I joined. There will be more from that order. It just got split up in the box. I joined Lynn X Stitch's quarterly project bag club, and I have one of her other project bags which I really liked, and I was just scrolling early in the morning on a Saturday, and she had made a post that was like, hey, signups are open, it's all new this year, whoever wants in, sign up now. I'll take the link down when I'm done, when it's full. And so that's what we got. There was a lovely, oh, that's the pattern. Well, you can't really just, okay, so this is a beautiful piece from My Studio Creates, Brooke, that she charted, and that was included in there. It's very Easter themed. There's some goodies. Let's see, there's, oh no, is that, oh, it's in here. There's a Rebel Stitcher bunny themed needle minder, which is right here. Love that. There's a mini emery board, jasmine tea, Annie's organic bunny fruit snacks, and then the project bag. So take that out. But yeah, so this is the fabric. This is the bunny fabric, and then this is the inside, and it's vinyl front. So what I really love about her pattern, her bags, are they are big enough for an 11 by 11, the size that you can fit an 11 by 11 in here easily. It's wonderful. So I do love that about her bags. Another project bag maker that I recently got one from is Robert's Palace of Stitches. I showed you the one he gave me a couple years ago. He and I and some other people are doing the Year in the Woods stitch along from Cottage Garden Samplings. I have not started any of them yet. I'm waiting on fabric, which should be coming in the next couple of weeks, but I have several of them, and I have been getting the floss together to do that. So the fox, the raccoon, the swans. I've also ordered the rabbit. I have not ordered the ferret yet, but that's on my list to get. You can go on, Robert also gave me a Dumbledore hat needle minder, and everything else in here is just the floss. But this is the bag he made me, which is beautiful. And then it's just got like a green inside, like a plain green. But he does the quilting. So here's his tag, Robert's. It's kind of small, but I'll try to show. You see, Robert's Palace of Stitches. Probably can't read, but it's too small on there. Yeah, I love this fabric that he picked out, and I got to meet him when we were in Kansas City last weekend, and he gave me the bag. So I'm very happy about that. I hope to get started soon. Actually, I don't know if Robert's doing that piece. He did the Santa. I don't know if he started the fox yet, but I know Kate is has started several. She's done the fox. She's working on the rabbit, and so I'm excited to see what other ones. Oh, so if you go to Cottage Garden Sampling's website, she has it listed. The first 9 patterns of the 12. She has the floss lists, including the fancy floss and then the DMC that you will need. I did get my Bestitch Me Fabric of the Month and Silk of the Month stuff in. I do the 2 25-yard multicolored flosses versus the regular pack. So we got Grasshopper, it's a beautiful green, Wetlands, another pretty green. They are different, like they have some similarity, but like you can see there's differences. And then so the colorful color this month was called Aventurine, which is a nice green. Aventurine. I don't know how to say that. It's a beautiful green. This is on a linen, and so it's very pretty. And then the neutral color is called Cinnamon, and I got it in Jobelin, and so this is what it looks like. It's a very like pink, nice blushy color, but not too strong. Okay, Robert and I went to CC's and Company, which is the cross stitch store in Blue Springs, Missouri. And I picked up a few things. First of all, I got this from Froxwood Crossings, the Finch Visit. These are the little sleighs patterns with the different birds. I also picked up 2 of the sleds to finish them on, and I bought some perforated paper to stitch it on. They had like pre-cut, but I was like, I'm doing at least 2 of them. I can do it and then cut it out. So, and then I also got some of the flosses I needed for the Year in the Woods. Some of these, I think these were all ones I had to convert, but I didn't get everything. So the ones I got were Pumpkin Harvest. So this, a different was called for, but I converted it to this one. And that's from Classic Colorworks. I got Gentle Art Driftwood. And then Brown Sugar from Classic Colorworks. And Brown Bear, which is kind of different than the other one, but that's fine. This is from Gentle Art. So I think I already have a skein of that, but I think it's called for multiple things, so I got a second one. Okay, so one of the other things that I ordered from Stitch Me back in the Cyber Monday or whatever was fabric that I was thinking of using for Long Dog Samplers You Belong to Me. This is the PDF, this is what the chart will look like. And I have been playing, I have several different things, but what I was trying to do was like a sunset kind of look. And I had a piece of Twinkle that was in Ada, and I thought this could really work, especially because I want to get like the pinks and the blues and the purples of some like sunset. And then I'm using the yellow, I'm going to use a variegated gold yellow color for the floss. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm not sure if I'll go this way or this way, but yeah, this is the fabric. And then the floss I got is this. This is from Silks For You, PR 128. So it's a beautiful yellow, goldy, variegated color. This is the same color that EJ of the Sunshine Stitchers is doing hers in, and she's doing it on like a light blue cornflower. So it was kind of, I ordered this fabric, and then I ended up ordering the floss later, and I was like, I think I may want to do that route versus what I had originally pulled. Okay, so last time, as I showed you, I was out my the pointed fifth had to come to a stop. Well, I ordered, and I had ordered replacement fabric for it. I had shown that. It's 40 count vintage country mocha, so it's pretty standard. Well, in the Silks For You that I ordered this color thinking I might want to use that instead of doing the rainbow effect again. This is PR 132, which is a beautiful teal green, like teal to charcoal kind of gray. It's very dark, but I think it will look really nice with that. I think this for the borders would be really good. So that's the current plan. And then I'll still use other bright colors for the animals and the other things in the piece. So there's that. I ordered this when I ordered that from Stitch Me as well. I'm not really sure why, but I did. I don't think it was for a particular project, but I got a piece of 36 count roasted linen, which is a beautiful red and brown color. Something very bright would go wonderful on this, I'm sure. That's what will end up happening. Oh, that's from the owl. Okay, so I ordered, well, let's do this first. Okay, so I did get my floss of the month from 3L Threads, the Nest Egg program. I'm doing Threadworks, and so we are in the S's at the moment. And I'll just kind of go through these. So this is 1122, which is Smoke and Guns, which is a silver, blue, or a white variegated color. 1040, which is Shanghai Nights. It's a very like autumn kind of blend. 1007, this is Soft Lights, which is a very light pastel color variegation. 11021, which is Shabby Pink. This is a very, very light pink, very much more like very hint of pink, very creamy. 10472, this is Shamrock, a light green. 10651, Seven Dwarfs Mine, which, okay, so it's a gray brown. 1081, which is Shortcake. So this is a pink, purple to, and then like a brown, like a light brown tan. 11141, Shades of Tan. Yeah, that's descriptive. And accurate. 1088, Society Life. So this is red and purple variegated color. 1036, this is Shades of Chocolate. That's also descriptive and accurate. So yeah, that's the nest egg that I got this year, or this month. We're in the S's. I don't know if you can still sign up for those or not. She had a wait list at one point, and I'm not sure where it's at. So there's that. Okay, when I discovered that the pointed fifth was not going to work on that piece of fabric, I decided to order some more silk from Silks For You. And I probably went a little overboard, but I was shopping my feelings, so I ordered several other colors aside from the two that I've shown you, and I will show you all of those as well. So this is PR 155, which is like a kind of like a fuchsia to a chocolate color. It's very nice. I got several blues. So this is PR 5, which is a bright blue, like with a teal to it. It's lovely color. And then I got a darker blue, purpley color, which is PR 168. What's that one? And then I also got this lovely autumn colorway, PR 185, which this is what Kate is doing You Belong to Me in. And so I kind of thought I might try that one as well. It's very pretty, but it's not what I want to use with the fabric I have. I'll cover that in a minute. I also got her green pack of skeins, and these I believe are 10-yard skeins, 15-meter skeins. So this is like all the different greens. As I'm using greens for garden stars and I'm trying to do silks, that was kind of the idea. So this is PR 172, PR 1, is this one? PR 160, or 136, PR 165, PR 130, like an olivey color, PR 112, PR 111, a darker green, PR 18 color, and PR 11, like a dark spruce color. So yeah, I definitely will have enough greens for my my garden stars that I'm starting in May for my birthday. I also ordered 2 skeins from Bestitch Me of her silks. Again, this was with the bigger, this is Wicked, which is this pretty color, and then Acid Rain, which is a yellow green. So that's everything we have with the stitching. So I'm going to talk about some books, and I'm going to talk about some stuff that I've been watching. So first of all, watching, we've got Bridgerton season 2 started last week. I have finished it, or it came out last Friday, or Friday before last. I have finished it. I really liked it. It is less like sex than the first one, like on screen, I guess. And it's more about the anticipation of it, but I really enjoyed it. I apologize for the clickety click of Augie, because it is, I know what he wants, and I should have probably done that before I started filming, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit. So Bridgerton is really good. I am currently watching Picard. I have finished Star Trek Discovery Season 4. Really enjoyed that. Loved the cameo at the end of who they have playing the President of Earth. Really, I really enjoyed that show. And yeah. See anything else that way? Sure there is something. Oh, I'm continuing to watch Ted Lasso with my boyfriend. I really love it, but we're just watching it when like we're together or something along those. We're watching it together. So we are in the middle of season 2 at the moment, but I really enjoy it, and I know I'm going to watch it again because it's just such a great show. I think that's pretty much it. So, okay. Let's see. What are you doing? Cancel. Okay, so first up, so I'm going to talk about 3 books that I read in the last couple weeks. So first up, we have from Sarah J. Maas, The House of Earth and Blood, the book 1 of the Crescent City series, which is right here. I read her first book of the Throne of Glass series last year, and it wasn't, I didn't really connect with it the way a lot of other people have, but several of my friends are fans of hers, and they were talking about this series, and then the second book came out recently, and so I was like, well, maybe I'll give this a chance. So it's an urban fantasy series versus the Throne of Glass is more of a high fantasy series, and I think urban fantasy is the correct category. It's different than your standard, than like the majority of urban fantasy. Usually with urban fantasy, you have like Augustus. No, you are not going to growl at me. I know what you want. Not time. You're going to wait. You're going to wait. Usually with urban fantasy, there's some element of magic is hidden from the rest of the world, but like, you know, the world is going on. So the Iron Druid series, Mercedes Thompson, Harry Potter, any of those have this kind of element that like magic exists and is going on, but like most people in the world don't know about it. And so that's not the case here. In this, like magic is very present. They have the level of technology is about equivalent to our own, but it seems like they have used magic to create some of their technology. It's not entirely clear, but that seems to be like the way it's going. And then for the most part in this series, the main character is half human, but that's the major. There's no full humans that are main characters. Everybody else is some kind of fantasy creature, but as a group they call them Vanir. The main character is half fae, half human, and she is also part of the Vanir because she has the fae blood in her. It is a adult fantasy series in the sense that there is like sex and stuff. It's not really romance. I wouldn't call it romance, but that's kind of like it. In some ways, it is because it's like the enemies to lovers is the theme. But overall, I enjoyed it. for me, I found some of the problems with Throne of Glass were still here. They just weren't as prevalent. So part of what I didn't like about Throne of Glass was a lot of the characters seemed to be very extreme and go from one extreme to another with a lot of like, didn't make sense to me. And that happens here as well. And the storyline goes from one extreme to the other at different points. And I don't know why. It didn't make sense like in the story. At times it felt like, oh, we need this to happen to these characters. So this is the plot is changing. This is a twist in the plot versus like, oh, it makes sense, like for that kind of thing. So at times I was very frustrated with this book. Overall, I enjoyed it. I did like it. I do think the author is very good at writing action, and that was very nice. And there is quite a bit of action, and I thought that came across really well. A lot of people have described this as like an info dump, and there's just a lot of information, and you're having to get through a lot of it. And I think that I agree there's a lot of information, but I was also kind of like, I need more because I don't understand why these things are happening, why these peoples don't like each other. I don't think our narrator, our main character knows. And so I think that may be partially by design, but like, I was often wondering like, okay, wait, why is this happening? What's happening? Why is it this way? Instead of like, she's just saying like, it's this way. This is the way it's been. This is the way this society works. But it doesn't really explain like, how did we get there? I don't know that the main character knows that, but that was part of the struggle for me is it just didn't really click, a lot of that. But I did enjoy it, and I am reading the second book, so that I do intend to continue on with the series. But there were just parts that I was just like, wait, what now? So next up, I also read Breach of Peace by Daniel Green. So this is the cover art. Daniel Green is a YouTuber, booktuber. He does a lot of different things, fantasy news, and he has written 2 books that he has published in this series. This is the first one, and then there's a second one. Daniel did a lot of content. Early on, his channel was a lot about the Wheel of Time before it was a movie or a TV show. And that was like the majority of what his content was. He's transitioned to doing a lot of other stuff. He's also interviewed a lot of authors. He's interviewed Brandon Sanderson, Brent Weeks. He's done a lot of Jim Butcher. He's done a lot, and I enjoy watching his YouTube content. I liked this book, but again, there were things that I was like, I don't like parts of it. When it came out, there was a lot of, there was some reaction from several groups that it was tone deaf and that there was some issues with the whole structure of what he's come up with. So basically this world is at a like industrial revolution age of technology. There's a main society that is like controlling, seems to be most everything, or at least this part of the world. And it's headed up by somebody that has like godlike powers, and he gives assignments out to police officers, and they get a strong, almost religious sense of fulfillment by doing their job. Main character is a police officer, and she has a husband who's also a police officer, and several other things. There's several police officers that are the main characters, and they're investigating like this weird murder, assassination of a huge group of like a family, and it kind of leads them to a lot of different things and into learning some stuff that they probably shouldn't. it's also very short. This does not feel like a full book. It feels like the opening act of something or the first part of a book rather than like it actually has a conclusion. It's definitely a cliffhanger. There is a book two, but from another reviewer called them both novellas, and I think that's accurate. Like the length of it, like where you are in the story, I think it's more of a novella than an actual novel. And then I would also say Daniel is actually very good at writing action. He did that very well, and there's a lot of it in this book. Some things were a little odd that I think came along with, okay, this is the first time he's like written a book that he's publishing. That does come through in some elements, but less than I was expecting. And then I really did like it. Oh, excuse me. I think with the whole concept of the police officers that are essentially like unlimited power, but there's also like the military and the society behind it. I'm interested to see where he goes with it, and if the story ends up like showing the fault of that kind of system, I think that makes it worth it versus just kind of like, I didn't get the feeling of like, I mean, I think in this world, the police as a group are glorified. And I don't know that like, but I think he's able to highlight some of the problems of that, or in some ways. And then I don't think it really like, I'm withholding my like, I'm interested to see how it ends up turning out before I'm like, oh, this is, you shouldn't write a story like that, or you should, or whatever the situation is. I want to see how he handles that issue, why he's kind of structured his world to have that aspect, or what he's trying to explore by setting it up that way, before I like judge that element of it. But yeah, it was really good. Well, it was good, and I was happy to have read it. So then I was like, I need something different, and so I picked up this book a while ago called Enemies of the State by Bauer, and it is a male for male romance written by a queer man, and it is, the basic premise is you have the newly elected president of the United States and his Secret Service agent in charge of his detail, and they end up male for male romancing, and yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's cheesy, and it's like there's a whole bunch of geopolitical stuff that's going on, and that in this series that is really, not likely. But it's also like the whole thing is kind of not likely. So I really enjoyed it, and I am reading the second one of that one as well. There's some just like comical things that happen, especially in some of the intimate times that which really made me laugh. But it's also very good, and I really liked it. So I would recommend that one as well if you are looking for something that's a little easy. I mean, it's not like a Red, White, and Royal Blue or something along those lines, but it is the Haley Turner series that I read, the urban fantasy, which is more like Crescent City because its magic exists and everybody knows about it versus just it's hidden. That one did have, it's probably closer to that level of sex and stuff, although it's not as prevalent. But I mean, like how descriptive the sex is probably closer to that. But yeah, it's good. I mean, yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed it, and I'm enjoying the second one as well. So that's all the books. That's everything. We're under an hour and 15 minutes, at least before I hit the stop button. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Please leave me a comment, or if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to write them down below. Those floss tubers that I mentioned, that I was shouting out, they will be linked down below as well. So please go give them a watch and a follow. And I will see you all next time. So have a good one. Bye, everybody.